guy with a big job in vaccinology resigns and says, I can't work with Bobby Kennedy. He's all about misinformation. Now, turns out that they were going to get rid of him. Why? Because of what he just said. So what does that tell us about the promise of the MAHA movement? Okay, Make America Healthy Again. Dr. Phil McGraw believes in it. Okay, an outspoken supporter of President Trump during the election. Since then, he has joined Trump's border czar on raids. He did a ride along with ICE. We all saw that. Now he's joined the MAHA movement, okay? Merit Street Media has a special airing Wednesday on that very topic, and I asked the doctor to come on in and talk to me about it. Dr. Phil, always a pleasure.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, and it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
What did you make? What did you make of the guy stepping away and saying, I don't believe that when it comes to vaccines, Bobby is serious about transparency and vetting. He just wants to push propaganda. What's been your experience?
Well, my experience is that he's very sincere about this. And I don't think that he's been in the job long enough for anybody to know whether he's sincere or whether he's not. I mean, if the guy's concerned, then he shouldn't be there. If he can't get behind the program, if he has intellectual reservations about it, then I totally respect him feeling like he needs to step away. I have found RFK Jr. to be committed to the science. I have found him to be someone that is going to follow empiricism and, not some cockamamie story or theory. And I think people need to focus on where he is now and what he does now. And I anticipate we're going to see a lot of transparency from him. And if not, he should be called out on it 100%, no question about it.
Accountability is easy. In terms of what they target and what you want to see, fill us in. No pun intended.
Well, here's what I want to see. And everybody can fact check this, and I invite them to do so. We have one of the sickest generations of young people of any developed countries. I think we're 33 out of 38 among developed countries right now in terms of the presence of chronic disease in young people. And look, there aren't any Democrat children, there aren't any Republican children, they're just American children. This isn't a political issue for me. And Chris, I don't know enough about politics to discuss it intelligently, so I'm not even going to try. I'm interested in cultural issues. And I think when we look at the presence of chronic diseases among our young people, in the 60s, it was like 2, 3, 4% of young people had chronic diseases. Now, it's like 40%. And this is a serious problem that can be eliminated in one generation if we'll just do a few different things that are totally doable. We need to get kids off their phones and back outside in the fresh air and exercising. We need to start feeding them foods that aren't processed. We need to make sure that the chemicals that are in our foods are the ones that need to be there to keep the foods safe. There are probably 10,000 chemicals in our foods that aren't in the foods in Europe. Foods aren't meant to last forever. They're meant to spoil if you don't eat them. You need to be eating foods that are more natural for our children. And if we do that, I think we'll see this chronic disease epidemic begin to go down. And that gives our kids a chance to have a longer life, a higher quality life. 70% of our young people right now can't qualify for military service, for example. Not that we need 70% in military service, but they don't even qualify. Obesity and diabetes, type 2 diabetes, essential hypertension, all different kinds of chronic diseases that are avoidable. And that's what I'm interested in. And, right now we've got so many of these food companies that were purchased by tobacco companies that are spending more money lobbying our Congress than oil and gas companies.
That's the issue.
So
now
we need to really
now
take a look at that.
Now we're on the same page, Doc. We don't got to look at it because it's very obvious. But whether it's why you leave the DOD alone or why you don't go after the people who employ the illegal entrants, or why you are not going to change what happens with America's food. You are butting up against money and power with reach into politics. And what gives you hope that that will be taken on? We have not seen Trump do that. He talked that talk a little bit in 2015. It was one of the things I thought was a good inflection point for him in his original sell. But I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. What gives you hope?
Well, what are we, 50 days, 60 days into this? I think him bringing Bobby Kennedy in, who is very much committed to this. In this episode that you're talking about, the special that I'm doing, I had what are called MAHA moms on, and these are mothers that have been focused on this for a long time. And they're focused on the food, they're focused on the chemicals, they're focused on the medications and the research that's being done. These aren't anti-vaxxer moms. These aren't moms that are looking for some kind of conspiracy theory. They're looking to get their children healthy. And they're motivated, they're intelligent. There are physicians that are involved in trying to do the right thing by these children. And I think they're very serious, and I'm very serious about it. I think we've got a chance to really make a serious difference here. And I've talked to the president about this, and he is very focused on this. I think he's sincere about it. I think he's dedicated to it. And I think he's going to stay the course and do something here. But here's what it takes. You know, I guess the first time I ever heard the term follow the money was back in the Watergate days that you and I remember, and a lot of young people don't even know what we're talking about when we say Watergate. But if you follow the money, you've got these chemical companies that are spending all of this money, and they've got corporate capture. And we've actually got people that benefit that are actually regulators that approve some of the chemicals and some of the medications that are getting approved. Some of the approvers are benefiting if they approve and not if they don't approve. And I'm talking about everything from antibiotics to vaccinations for flu and COVID and those sort of things. But it's more than that. It's just how long did it take to get the red dye taken off the approved list? And we've known about that forever. And all I'm asking people to do is say, you know, it was somebody much more eloquent than I that said, you know, I would rather have questions that I can't answer than answers I can't question. And we've got to have the willingness and the freedom to question the answers that we're all taking for granted. It's just, why do our foods look different than European foods? Why are the colors brighter? Why are they in our foods, our cereals and stuff? Well, because they've got dyes and chemicals in them that they don't have in these other countries. We should be asking ourselves, why is that true? Why do we need that stuff in our food? And why did our children start getting sick in the mid-'80s when they started adding that stuff to our food, whether it's Skittles or these candies and these cooking oils that we use? Those things were originally designed to lubricate tanks during the war. And then we didn't need them for tanks anymore. They started converting them into cooking oil, and we're eating that stuff. And I'm learning every day.
I hear what you're saying, Doc.
Every day that I'm reading this research.
Listen, I think, look, it's great that you're doing it. I hope people watch this special. It's a great message to be putting out. And I am not a cynic. I am a hopeless optimist. I just believe that you got to believe in the best. But you got to take on the richest, the most powerful to make a difference with this, because that's who's cashing in on it. And we'll see. We're early on it, but we're not too early to ask the question, as you say. Dr. Phil, appreciate you. Always welcome here. Good to see you.
What I want everybody to do is fact check everything you and I are talking about here. Fact check it. Find out if it's true. And if it's not true, kick it out. If what I'm saying is not true, throw it out. But if it is true, follow up. That's all I say.
All right. Scroll back up. I want to get the name of the special right. There it is. Make America Healthy Again, a Dr. Phil's Merit TV special. Be well, Doc. Wednesday,
Take care,
Merit
Chris.
TV. Dr. Phil McGraw, always a pleasure. It's good to be with you. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.